And why I felt so compelled to do this episode in the comfort of my home, my property, is because I had someone online, a stranger, who was gay. And this person kept projecting their problems and their issues onto me. And I'm totally a separate entity from them. Don't know them, never met them. Only gave them tarot readings. That's it. And this person went rogue, crazy, and projected all this craziness onto me on YouTube. And this happened in the last 3, 4 months. And this has inspired me to do this episode. But first things first, I'm happy that I have this property where I don't have to leave my house, and I don't have to have a microphone. I don't have to have extras to do a podcast. Podcast is just a podcast where we're going to talk and chat. Okay, so read the disclaimer, you guys. We have freedom of speech. We have free will to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Okay. And this is not for hate. This is not for clout. This is not for reactions. This is just us podcasting, So, you guys know I do tarot. I have all my cards here. I've been doing tarot for years. I've given thousands of free readings out, lots of donation readings. If I was to show you guys all my donators, you'd be like, wow, that's interesting. Never forced a donation in my life. Not that type of girl. Like to earn. Okay. But first things first, YouTube, I never knew anyone on YouTube personally. No one ever knew me personally on YouTube. Everything's virtual. Nothing is in person, guys, especially when it comes to YouTube. Now, I will say this, when it comes to YouTube, there is a YouTube studio. Like there is a real YouTube like group. Like if you're a content creator, you can be a part of the YouTube content creation group where they invite you to events, so that is out there. But as far as meeting subscribers or meeting other tarot readers in person, personally, I don't do that. I don't even really exchange phone numbers. I don't do that. I just barely get a reading, shout people out, give them thanks, give them praise, or give them readings, And specifically, I had somebody who was gay, who was a fag, because my dad calls them faggots, freedom of speech. And um, yeah, he was quite the drama king. And I wouldn't even say he's a king. He's like a page. Because, I don't think he has much experience in tarot or in life. But he was barking up my tree. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, why are you barking up my tree when you're gay and I'm straight? There's no romantic interest. There's no want to be friends. There's no need for us to go any further than these tarot readings, right? So it was just odd, very weird. And it just was like, I'm straight. I only am attracted to guys, men that pursue me. Only been with men, my entire dating career, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, why does this gay guy keep like projecting onto me, approaching me, talking about me, thinking about me, obsessing over me? The tree you want to bark up is the same sex, right? Because that's how it goes. This man is sassy. This man is gay. This man is a faggot. He likes the same sex. You can hear it in his voice, you see it in his whole energy aura. You could tell it's very extreme on him. And it's like, dang, he had some built up tension in his body because literally he tried to really come for me and attack me about his problems. It had nothing to do with me. He tried to project like false narratives like voodoo and what else, stalking, and what else did he try to project? Some BS. that nobody was buying. And it was just crazy. It was just like outlandish. And it just was like, what are you really hiding? You know, like it's not what you say, it's what you're not saying. The fact that you're gay, the fact that you probably got molested when you were younger. That's how you got turned out to the same sex, to fantasize and sexualize over the same sex. What are you really not saying? And why are you trying to use me as your escape? Go. Yes, because I'm go. And it's just like you can't escape through me. You can't escape through other people. And I noticed that, like when people don't want to be exposed, when people don't want to tell the truth, when people don't want to live in their truth or be honest about who they are, what happened to them, they like to point the finger and blame somebody else. And it's just like, look within. That's why we have a mirror. You need to look at yourself. You need to wonder what's wrong with you, we're living in 2025, going into 2026. Pride, gay pride is accepted, and it's not to be pushed upon anybody, though. Everybody still has freedom, free will. We're not slaves. We get to decide, are we in, are we out? And I'm out. I'm not against, because, we live amongst people that are homo, and I'm just not homo. I'm no homo, I'm straight. I've always been straight. I've always been barked at from the opposite sex. You get what I'm saying? And I never had to struggle or be questioned by bisexuality or by homosexuality. People just know right off the bat I'm straight. Like, so when these gays come my way, and it's odd because it's like, don't you like men? You're a man, but don't you like men? Or you're a boy, having grown, right? Still growing, still need to grow and develop. And don't you like the same sex? Okay, so why are you trying to like come at me online? Because that's all you're ever gonna get is online. You're not gonna get me in person, right? So the same thing kind of goes for women too. Like I noticed, like I'll shout a woman out. Like, you gave me a tarot reading. It was about me, my life. I'm gonna shout you out. I'm gonna share you. We're sharing tarot readings. That's what we do. That's what a lot of these tarot readers ask for. Can you please share me? I shared a tarot reader two years ago, a female. She took it as somebody like wanted to be her, or somebody was copywriting her, or somebody was stalking her. Like she took it all out of context. And she tried her best to assassinate my character for 2 years till this day, lying about stuff, just blatant lies. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is she hiding? Because it's not what you say, it's what you're not saying. We're reading between the lines. Like, you're not telling the truth. You're not being honest. Do you like me? Because you're barking at the same sex when you should be focusing on a man. If you're a straight woman, go focus on a man if that's what you're into. If that's, if you're straight, I would have took the shout out and been like, thank you, move on. I wouldn't have been looking at my channel for 2 years, making up false claims for 2 years, doing the most for 2 years over me and not getting paid for it. And it doesn't affect me at all because look where I'm at. So at the end of the day, it's like these people who I question, um, like, what is wrong with these people? It's like built up tension. Like they're not getting the attention from the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever they're into. It's like they're not getting that love or not getting that attention because it's like they throw these temper tantrums like they're children, and it's like something that's very underdeveloped, and it's just like they need to grow out of that. You get what I'm saying? Have you ever seen me on YouTube care that much? No. Check my content. Check my content. I have content constantly being posted every other, day. And what am I focused on? Me, my workouts, my lifestyle, my love life, my family, my life. Tarot readings, minimally. Thank you. Moving on. I resonate, I don't resonate, whatever, it doesn't matter. Grain of salt. So it's just like, I am like, dang. And no homo. Like, I remember a tarot reader, and you guys, I'm not really dropping names because I don't care that much. I'm not dropping names because I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Um, but these are real life scenarios. So I had another tarot reader who knew of me online, right? And she, I guess, watched me or knew of me. And when I had went into her chat, she was like, "Oh my God, you're in here." And I'm like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know who you are." And, giving me my shout out, my props, showing me respect. And it created a bond between us for a while. And we had a bond for like a year and a half where I would, watch her tarot related content. She would give me readings. I would actually donate to her channel. And like she would ask me she would ask me questions, and donate as well. And like I would send her gifts and like, give her thanks. And that's all it ever was. We were never on no homo shit. And I even got to express like no homo. And she was like, no homo, even though she's had her bisexual moments she shared with me, I just was like, kept it light. And it's just like me and her no longer keep in contact, but we're not like beefing and there is no like smoke. So it's just like we had a disagreement, but we didn't agree on everything, but we agreed like 90% of the time. But long story short, like you don't have to go head to head with each other. Real recognizes real. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like there was this other gay guy, weird, 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 weird. He was giving me props and showing me love and attention, same like the other gay guy. And then the moment that they realize you're real deal Holyfield, they get in their feelings and start judging and then think that you're the issue or the problem in their life. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You think I'm dumb. You think I'm stupid. Nobody. I don't give a damn. You get what I'm saying? Like, your gayness, the fact that you probably were molested, touched, abused as a child, which turned you out to like the same sex, is your issue, your problem that you need to address. And stop deflecting from that. I would say, 99% of the time, a lot of down low guys deflect. Like, they don't want nobody to know they're gay. And then there's the fags that are like their mannerisms and like and their voice and it's all there. You can see it, right? So like it's awkward. That's awkward. And for a straight woman, I could spot it right away. I could spot gayness right away. I could spot bitchy energy right away. I could spot faggot energy right away. I could spot like the mannerisms right away. I could spot the extra feminism energy, because I know a straight man, a balanced man, uh, a masculine, feminine, balanced man, the one that respects his mom, and respects his dad, and didn't get molested or touched on. You get what I'm saying? I know that. You get what I'm saying? But there's this whole other circle of men that it's like, even as a straight woman, you really got to watch out for because it's like, you don't want to deal with that. That's not your focus. And when it comes to tarot readings, it's tough because you get all these different subscribers, all these different people, and it's just like you still have to have boundaries because you do not want to intertwine. And then here you go, you're being projected on and used as an escape route because they don't want to address their bullshit. So for me, growing up, I lived in a two-parent home, mom and dad, married, raised me, never was molested, never was touched on, never had issues, raised in a good family, a house in a predominantly white neighborhood, protected, went to school, education, parents had government jobs. You know what I'm saying? Had brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters played sports, like no one was gay in my family growing up. Even now, we don't even have any family members that are gay or bisexual or hetero. And if any of them are, you probably wouldn't really, really, really know, but most of the family is straight. They have kids, they have relationships, they're married, you know. Um, and I'm not saying this to say like, I hate gay people. No, you know, you have freedom to you know, select your preference, but respect my preference as well, too. You get what I'm saying? If you want respect, show me respect. You get what I'm saying? So I've had bisexual women ask me tarot questions. I've had bisexual women donate to my channel and ask me questions about their secret lover or whatever. And I don't judge. I'm like, okay, let's do this reading. And they don't even project onto me. I've had so many, and they don't even project their bisexuality onto me, which is great because I'm not bisexual. I don't go both ways, not into it. And that's why I don't really associate too closely with women. I just know my boundaries. I know my limits. I know what I'm into. I've always been pursued by men, so, but the gay men that I've encountered, I can tell how they are. They don't get their way. And if they're not elevated or they're not evolved, they do some snake shit. They do some betrayal. They do some projecting, some childhood issues that they haven't resolved. They do some shit that's like, what? We can see through that. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's better to just be honest with yourself. Wake up every day and tell yourself the truth. Okay. And stop barking up the wrong tree. Like, if you're gonna bark, go bark up that man's tree that you're in love with. You get what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, most of them have been abused and have not even healed from their abuse. You get what I'm saying? And they expect you to be the healer. I'm not holding space for no one that doesn't have respect. You get what I'm saying? Self-respect or respect from other people, you know? And let's even talk about the men that are straight but act like bitches. Sassiness, too much gossiping. That's borderline gay. It's seen as that, straight men that talk too much, that gossip too much, that have too much to say, yada, like a female. No, say less. Real masculine men, alpha men, you know, they hold stuff close to their chest. And they have homeboys that are straight that they can, like, you know, talk to. But they all got women, And it's just like, that's a straight man lifestyle, I rather that than some sassy, feminine, back and forth arguing BS. You get what I'm saying? Because that's for women. Women are known to be the gossipers or the talkers, or the complainers or, the feminine, But men, no. They're the doers, they're the action oriented ones, they're the protectors, the providers, the prophets. You get what I'm saying? But this whole other non traditional, unconventional, ungodly, ungraceful, distasteful stuff that's been, going on with the gay community. It's crazy. It's out of hand. They talk too much. They judge other people. And it's like, how can you judge someone like that? You like to suck cock and get done in the booty hole. We know what you guys do. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, you guys should have zero things to say about a straight woman. Okay? If a straight woman is having straight intercourse, she's doing the right thing. That's what she's meant for, to procreate and bring children into this world. You guys can't even bring children into this world with what you guys do. So at the end of the day, you guys got to go see a fertility doctor, go get a surrogate, go get some eggs from somewhere. Like, please, how are you going to talk about me when you don't even understand your whole ideology about what you're even in or doing? I'm doing what's natural, what's traditional, what's conventional. You get what I'm saying? I'm not doing new method. You get what I'm saying? And this is not to take shots. This is just to be real and honest and, and an adult about it. Because we're not children. We're not childish. We're of the age where we can really plan our parenthood now. So at the end of the day, that's how I think, and that's what factually is going on in the reality that we live in. If you have something to say about it, if you feel a way about the way I feel, or if you even relate or understand, okay, you get what I'm saying? Everybody has their freedom of speech, their free will. Say what you want to say. But at the end of the day, do it on your channel because I won't be watching your channel. And I hope you don't think I watch your channel because I don't care enough to watch your channel. I watch my channel and I watch other people's channel that I'm inspired by. You get what I'm saying? So have I watched gay men, you know, thrive in society? Yes. And that's why I'm not saying like, death to them. I hate them. I'm against them. No. They choose to be gay. Okay, be gay, but be gay over there and don't project and don't, you know, come close to my boundaries. We all have, and I won't come close to your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Respect. You know, am I like gay phobic? I have boundaries. I'm straight and I want to make sure I keep that straightness. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be influenced in the wrong direction. And I've watched gay people have thriving channels and what they focus on their channels is like other things other than their gayness. You get what I'm saying? So you don't always have to sexualize everything. On my channel, we don't even talk about sex like that. If you've noticed, in a lot of my videos, I barely, barely, barely will share anything sexual. You get what I'm saying? That's how I was raised. It's like some things are just best kept to yourself or private or right time, right place. You get what I'm saying? I know sometimes people ask me sexual questions for tarot, and I'm just like, what the hell? Some of these cards have some sexual stuff on them, but I have to get these cards that are like specifically intimate cards. I might get new cards. But anyways, long story short, don't be barking up my tree if you're a straight woman or a straight straight man on YouTube. You're welcome. Of course, you're welcome here. But of course, I'm not here for romance or dating online. That's just not me. Of course, ask about your significant other or whatever you're going through. But straight women, keep it straight. Ask me about your straight partner, whatever, because you guys know I always have my own thing going. Now, as far as the gay women and the gay men, the bisexual shit, as long as you guys stay respectful and ask about your partners and mind your business and do your own thing and don't come for me because I don't come for you. I'm not interested in gayness. You get what I'm saying? Um, then we're fine. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem if you try to assassinate me, attack me, include me into something that has nothing to do with me, then it becomes a problem. Then I have to address it. You get what I'm saying? Like an adult. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yes, this is a podcast. Do it the way you want to do it. I know I see people with microphones and stuff like that. I was thinking about getting a little mini mic, but we'll see. But long story short, as long as you can hear me and see me, there's no judgment here. Do what you want to do. Live your life how you want to live it. If you need a tarot reading, I'm here. If you need advice, I'm here. I'm here weekly. You guys can donate if you want $5, $8, $13 to get more depth. You get what I'm saying? If you want a free little mini read, a few little words, of encouragement or guidance, we'll do that. Just know this coming from the cards. Okay. I do fill it out as well, you know. But yeah, I don't give out my phone number. This is my only channel that I really use 99% of the time. Okay, so there is no other channels that I have. If somebody has made a channel and it has my name or whatever, it doesn't matter because that's not me. Don't be naive and gullible and trust everything you see. You know what I'm saying? Use your discernment. Okay, so at the end of the day, we're going to end it here. I try to do about 30 minutes and not do like a long hour. Maybe if I have a special guest, we'll do like an hour. But we're just getting started. And yeah, you'll just see me raw and real. Okay, guys? Peace. All love, no hate, no slander, no defamation. We're not even mentioning people. You know, we've mentioned people before, and we don't even care if we mention or don't mention. We just don't care. Life is good. So at the end of the day, peace and see